Hello everyone. Thanks for joining today's focus group webinar on Blueprint 3.0. Blueprint 3.0 brings a lot of highly requested enhancements. As this release covers quite a bit of enhancements, we'll be covering them over a two-part webinar series. So let's get started. I am Sundarjan Siddharth, Community Relations Specialist. I will be walking you through these different feature enhancements and their business use cases. With us for today's session is Srivatsa Balan. It's been close to 4 years since we implemented blueprints in Zoho CRM. Srivatsa has been involved in building this feature from the scratch, including the upcoming 3.0 release. Blueprint is seeing many enhancements in the 3.0 release, and it wouldn't have been possible without having the constant support and feedback from Zoho community. Drop your questions in the chat section and utilize this opportunity to ask as many questions as you have about today's topic. We have pre-recorded this session in order to avoid any technical difficulties. In case you encounter any technical glitches, do inform us in the chat. We will try and rectify it as soon as possible. Let us check out today's agenda. We start with a quick recap on what Blueprint is. We will then cover the latest enhancements, starting with automatic transitions. We will then walk you through the automated actions in SLAs. After that, we will learn about same-state looping and how to configure one. We will then check out the newly added during transition enhancements like widget support, mandating tags, multi-user lookup, and multi-select fields. Finally, we'll wrap up this session with Q&A. With no further delay, let's get started. Let's recall. Before we learn about the new features, let's brush up a little about blueprints. Blueprint is an online replica of your sales process. It allows businesses to build comprehensive automation and set a step-by-step process for the sales reps to follow. In blueprints, we have to keep an eye on two things: states and transitions. State refers to various stages in your business process. For instance, the picklist value of the stage field includes qualification to deal closure. Those are the states. Two states are connected by a transition. So the transition acts as a bridge between two states. Transitions are specific conditions that a record has to meet before moving from one state to another. For example, in deal closure state, submitting the required documents is a transition. Now let us see what automatic transition is and how it helps you to reduce the process. What is an automatic transition? Previously, records could not be moved from one state to another without user intervention. Our users saw the need for designed exception that permits automatic transition from one state to another. Automatic transition, as the name suggests, moves a record from one state to another state automatically when it exceeds the predefined time. You can set the time varying from 15 minutes to even months to automatically move a record to another state. The reports fetched from automatic transition and regular transition help you analyze the performance of your sales process and optimize it efficiently. Leveraging automatic transition, you can fill the process gaps where the mistimed or delayed transitions can be triggered as fail-safe default transitions in a sales process, thus by preventing sales process delays. It helps optimize conversion. For instance, let's say that in your deal follow process, a record is stuck in the need analysis state, and your sales rep hasn't chosen the next possible transition on whether the client's requirement can be met or not. This impedes the flow of the sales process. In order to prevent process lags, automatic transition allows you to move the record to negotiation state automatically once the set time is breached, and from there, the sales rep could take care of the uncompleted tasks in tandem. For better understanding, let us consider the sales process of Zilker, a software product company. The company gets their leads through various channels. The leads are then qualified and handed over to the sales team. Qualified leads are converted to potential and the record enters the sales cycle. During the initial stages, the sales team gathers the client requirements and analyzes them carefully. Once the suitable products are identified, a demo is set up for the client. The client is then sent a code, post which the record enters the negotiation stage. If the client accepts the code, the deal gets marked as won. Most of you must be familiar that Blueprints in Zoho CRM helps you execute this process flawlessly in a systematic manner. Most of the businesses have more or less a similar process, barring a few additions or omissions that are specific to nature of your business. Now let's see how Blueprint 3.0 enhancements add value to your already set sales process. Assume Joey, one of Zilker's sales rep, has gone on an unplanned leave. Before going on leave, he had asked for detailed requirements from the client. Let's say the client has already submitted his requirement through email. As Joe has not validated the requirement and performed the next transition in sales pipeline, the deal is stuck in the need analysis stage. This delays the sales process. Ross, Zilker's diligent sales administrator, knows how long the record takes on average in each stage of Zilker's sales cycle. He can use this knowledge to set automatic transitions. By defining a set time for each stage, Ross can ensure that any record that lapses the preset time can be moved to the next stage automatically. If in case the deal elapses the wait time in need analysis state, the record gets moved automatically to the negotiation stage. When an automatic transition is executed, tasks can be created to ensure the sales rep completes the activities pending from the previous state. The sales rep follows up on the uncompleted tasks and proceeds further without any delay. This ensures that the record is not left idle to the want of human intervention. Of course, not all stages require automatic transition. This can be set in line with your sales process. Now let us look at how to configure automatic transition using the product sales cycle. As discussed earlier, the cycle starts with gathering the requirements. When the product meets the requirement, it moves to the product demo. When the demo is successful, you send a quote and negotiate. Once your client accepts the quote, the deal is closed. If the quotes get rejected, you resend the quote and negotiate again. The negotiation process continues until the deal is finally accepted as won or lost. You have a well-processed blueprint in hand, but here is a problem. There are a lot of deals that are piled up in the need analysis state as your sales rep hasn't chosen any transition. It might be due to a delay in internal analysis or there was an influx of new deals to follow up that your sales rep missed timely follow-ups for want of time. One cannot rule out the possibility of human error here. Here is where automatic transition comes into play. Now let us see how to counteract the setback by leveraging automatic transition. To, to configure the automatic transition, I'm creating a new transition between need analysis and negotiation. Let us call the transition as negotiate. Below the transition name, there is a small checkbox called automatic transition. Check and save it. You can choose the wait time, whether days, hours, or minutes. I'm selecting 5 business days. If the record stays in the need analysis state for more than 5 business days, it will be transferred to the negotiation stage automatically. You can configure actions such as email notification. You can create tasks, and similarly, and I am still able to keep a process in place by creating tasks for missed transitions. Now I will publish this blueprint. Now let's see how it gets executed. For that, I'm creating a new deal. Now let us see how it gets executed. For that, I'm creating a new deal. So you can so if any of the transition hasn't been chosen in need analysis state, you can see an info message that says the review proposal will be executed automatically on the following date. Leveraging automatic transition ensures that the record is not stuck beyond a point in a particular state and helps optimize sales conversion. If you have any questions regarding automatic transition, do post them in the chat. Our experts will be delighted to answer your queries. Now let us check out what are SLAs and automated actions. SLA stands for Service Level Agreement that lets you monitor the record that lags in the sales process. SLAs trigger standard email alerts and escalates it to your manager or your admin. When it crosses the set time, until now, the one can trigger an email notification in the event of an SLA breach. There is nothing automatic beyond that in the scope of Blueprint. One has to make other changes manually. Let me explain how the new enhancements in Blueprint 3.0 address the requirement. Automated actions now supported in SLAs. As mentioned earlier, SLAs trigger standard email alerts and escalates it to your manager or admin. When it crosses the set time in the same state, with the new enhancement, you can configure custom SLA actions, including tasks, field updates, executing functions, webhook, etc. Let's get back to the Zilker's sales follow-up process. The, The requirement analysis is completed and client is happy with the demo. Ross now has to send the code but missed doing it for 5 days. As the record has breached the SLA set by Ross for sending the code, an escalation mail gets triggered. Ross makes use of the newly supported custom SLA actions to auto-update the record as escalated and assigns a task to Joey to check and send the code to customer on priority. This ensures that the blueprint doesn't just stop with escalating about the SLA project, but also auto-updates the field to earmark the record as escalated and creates a task for Joey for immediate action. By leveraging SLAs, you can set a defined period, in this case 5 days. If the record elapses the wait time, it will be automatically escalated and update the field status to urgent. Now you can prioritize the sales opportunities that need immediate attention. Before we get into the demo, let us learn the difference between SLA and automatic transition to better understand and use them effectively. SLA takes care of the records at state level, whereas the automatic transition tracks the record at transition level and helps automate them. In SLA, state change is not possible, but automatic transition is used primarily for state change. SLA is designed to escalate and notify the records, but automatic transition allows the records to proceed further without having to stop anywhere. Both supports all the after transition actions. Now we will see how to configure automated actions in SLAs. I spoke about Zilker's sales process and how it starts with need analysis state. During this state, Joey, Zilker sales rep, gathers the requirement from the client and sets up a demo for products that meet client requirement. This is followed by a demo. Based on the outcome of demo, Joey has to send a code to the client, as this is a very important state that needs prompt action. Ross, the sales admin at Zilker, sets up an SLA for 5 days along with a couple of automated actions in the event of SLA breach. The first automated action is to update a field and earmark the record as escalated. The second automated action creates a task for Joey to send the code to the customer on priority basis. Now let us see how to execute this in the blueprint. Go to the proposal price code, set the maximum time until which I'm going with 5 days. Now when would I want to escalate this? I'll just save and select an action. I'm creating a task to have the sales rep send the quote on priority. You can create multiple actions if needed. You can also see the action to perform a field update. Now let us check out and see how it gets executed. Now here is a record in the proposal price code state. On top of that, you could see SLA is due in 5 days. If this record stays here for more than 5 days, it will be escalated, updating the field to urgent and creating a task for you. Now that we saw different SLA actions, let us move to the same state looping. Same state looping, as the name suggests, helps you create a transition to loop back to the same state. It comes in handy when a task requires multiple attempts to complete it. For instance, during the need analysis stage, it is not easy to gather client requirement in one shot. You have to follow up with them continuously. At times, the prospect might be unavailable or asks you to contact them later. In such scenarios, you have to follow up later. Often, times repeat your follow up at regular intervals. This is where the same state looping comes into play. With same state looping, you can loop back to the same state until the job gets done. Previously, until the client gives the requirement to the point, in final iteration, the record is stuck in the need analysis state. It does not justice to the sales rep who tirely follow up to gather requirements. With same state looping, all this can be captured and reported. This way, the system captures every aspect of their work, including repeated follow-ups. Earlier, we saw that successful demo in Zilker's sales cycle is follow-up by sending a quote and negotiating with the client. The client either accepts the quote or rejects it for the want of a better offer. If the quote gets rejected, you resend the quote with a more favorable deal for the client and negotiate. But the client is still not happy, and the code goes through multiple iterations. Leverage same state looping to capture this process. You can loop the code rejected stage as many times as you want. This helps you get a better understanding of delays in the sales cycle. Make sure you pat the back of your sales rep when they close a deal with tough clients after multiple negotiations. To create a same state loop, drag the transition arrow from the rejected code phase to the other endpoint. Now, just like any other transition, you can configure the actions. Widgets are embeddable UI components that enhance and extend functionalities of Zoho CRM. Leveraging widgets, you can seamlessly bring in and take out data from third-party apps or other Zoho apps and access it all under Zoho CRM. For instance, get real-time updates about the ticket status from Zoho Desk inside Zoho CRM using widgets. The holistic insights help your sales rep take contextual actions. If you're new to widgets and don't know where to start, we have created a one-stop resource hub to help you get started. To know more, do follow and read up on the link shared in the chat section. In Blueprint, the during transition section helps capture the required details in order to move a record to the subsequent state. It allows you to mandate certain parameters, including notes, tags, attachments, etc. That helps you gather the necessary details. Blueprint 3.0 takes it to the next level by supporting widgets. Widget allows you to interact with third-party systems and fetch that data instantaneously within Blueprint. For example, you can use a map widget to locate the address of the contact or create a calendar widget to schedule meeting appointments. To understand this better, let's get back to Zilker's sales cycle. Once the sales rep completes the analysis state, a demo has to be set for the client. Ross, Zilker sales admin, can mandate a calendar widget fetched from other systems or create a calendar widget from scratch inside Zoho CRM. To schedule the demo, if the demo is on-site, you can even add the map widget and mark the location accurately. As you can see, the support of widgets in during transition section helps capture the actions performed by your sales rep in other third-party tools right within your CRM, leaving no stones unturned. By extending and externalizing the capabilities of Blueprint, widgets help improve the productivity of your sales team. Let us see how to add and mandate widgets inside the Blueprint. To do so, click on the requirement. In the during phase, tap the add button and choose widgets and click proceed. One thing to remember here, if you choose widgets, the other during phase action will be disabled. Choose create a new widget or you can use widgets that are already installed in the CRM. As creating widgets from the scratch involves coding and beyond scope of today's webinar, I'm selecting a calendar widget. Create an event that was created already to schedule the product demo. Let us see the widget in action. As Ross has already set up a calendar widget for this date, the calendar automatically pops to fix the demo date. Notice that this also creates a task. So here I select the date and the event is created. We have used the calendar widget for this demo. You can add widgets capturing any other tools used in your sales process right within the blueprints in Zoho CRM. Hope that demonstrated the capability of widgets and how you can implement it for your business use cases. Now we are going to see tags, multi-select and multi-user lookup field support in Blueprint. We will now look at the last set of Blueprint 3.0 enhancements for today, which is mandate of tags and support for multi-user lookup and multi-select fields in during transition. Multi-user lookup and multi-select fields in Zoho CRM helps you associate and establish data connections between various models. For instance, by default, you can associate a contact with an account using the account lookup field. If multiple contacts need to be associated with a single account, you can use multi-select lookup field. Create one-to-many or many-to-many relationship with multi-user lookup and multi-select fields. Tags, on other hand, help to identify, group, order, filter, segregate, or classify the records. For example, you can assign tags to leads that need immediate attention. So far, Blueprint allowed users to pick the lookup field in the during transition. With the Blueprint 3.0 enhancements, we now support multi-user lookup and multi-select lookup fields in the during transition phase. You can mandate these fields. You can now mandate tags but cannot validate them. In the product sales cycle, once the requirements are collected, it is passed on to various teams to complete the requirement analysis. Take the case of Zoho, for example. If the client's requirements needs suggesting multiple Zoho products, then multiple entities have to be associated in the CRM record to capture the same. Until now, it was not possible to bring this in the scope of Blueprint. The multi-select and multi-user lookup field that's now supported in Blueprint 3.0 makes it possible to capture this within Blueprint. Similarly, tags could not be mandated earlier. Now we have enabled tag mandate as a part of 3.0 release. In the during transition, you can mandate the multi-select field to update the products under the field actions. Choose the deals module and select the products associated. So here, in the gather requirement transition, the sales rep has to mention the deal products for the product. That leaves no room to miss out on any deals. So here I choose product associated. In addition, the sales rep mandates the tag to categorize deals easily, for example, to capture high value deals that are important. This helps your sales rep to segregate and pay more attention to deals that are important. With that said, we have come to the end of the session. In today's session, we discussed automatic transitions and how a sales delay can be transformed into winning a deal by leveraging automatic transitions, SLAs, and addition of custom actions, state looping and its uses, widgets, and creating custom components, addition of tags, multi-user lookup, and multi-select fields in during transitions. Do try these features and enhancements out in your CRM and let us know what you think of if you face or if you face any issues doing so.